HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Every Day.
With the country's murder count now at 141 for the year, Prime Minister the Right Honorable Perry Christie made a commitment to give police the additional resources to aid in the fight against crime. Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis. Topping the news tonight, the Prime Minister said those resources will include cameras for better surveillance on the island, additional equipment, and empowering the force to recruit additional officers, which he says will not be delayed. The Prime Minister was speaking at the Bahamas Christian Council's honorary luncheon for past presidents, where he says, like Commissioner of Police Ellison Greenslade, he too is distressed about the level of crime in this country. He says the country cannot have a state where young people without impunity are allowed to shoot people down like dogs.
It will be a significant expense, but we are going to empower you. You need numbers. So we're going to empower you to recruit more officers. But in fighting crime, the Commissioner of Police will have the full support of the government and people of this country to be able to do what he has to do within the limits of the law to ensure the maximum protection of the people of this country.
The Prime Minister also again stressed the government's commitment to rollout of national health insurance set to come on stream in January, which he says is a vital addition for the country that will benefit many who are not able to afford health care. Christie says the implementation will not be delayed, and while there has been opposition from different fronts, government has the support of all doctors for the health initiative. He also noted that there are areas of governance where he and opposition leader Dr. Hubert Menes must show Bahamians they are united, and in those cases it would not diminish but strengthen his leadership.
It is fundamentally important to each of you to know that what is taking place now is going to be one of the most significant happenings in the history of this country, because the intent is to put in place a system that will give equity to people who don't have it. And wherever they may be in this country, they are now going to be able to have that biblical, what you do for the least of my brethren. That's what's going to happen. So I just want you to know that without fear of contradiction or equivocation, it's going to happen, and it's going to start in January.
Police have 2 men in custody following a shooting incident last night that left 1 man dead. Now, according to reports, the man was standing outside the front of a home at John Chipman Street when a man approached him armed with a handgun and shot him before fleeing on foot. The victim was rushed to a hospital where he later died. Investigations continue. Minister of National Security, the Honorable Dr. Bernard Nottage, says a lockdown is being considered as one of the initiatives to fight the war on crime in this country. Mr. Nottage says to remove guns off our streets and to stop the bloodshed, some tough crime measures may have to be put in place.
In these communities, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of guns. There are drugs. There are gangs. And in some areas, it may be necessary for us to restrict entry and exit from those areas for a period of time, particularly when there is some heinous crime having been committed. I think that the public has been calling for us to successfully do what is necessary to reduce the incidence of crime. And we have determined that if we have to do such a thing as a lockdown, then that will be part of a number of things that we will be doing.
Debate is expected to continue tomorrow morning on the Petroleum and Sovereign